So let's learn in detail the uses, functions and purpose of future perfect tense along with its examples. The uses, functions and purpose of all the four forms of present tense, past tense, simple future tense and future continuous tense. We have already discussed that in detail. The link would be given in the description box. You may just have a look. We proceed with the uses and functions of future perfect tense. You need to know the structure, the construction, the formula of future perfect tense. Okay, first comes the subject, followed by will or shall, then have, then comes the past participle, followed by the object. Now, where exactly should we use will and shall is discussed in the previous video. You may just have a look. But to be brief, I can say will is mostly used with all other pronouns, all the first person, second person and third person pronouns. But shall is used with first person pronouns. First person singular pronoun is I and plural pronoun is we. That is actually the traditional rule of English grammar, that shall will be used with first person pronouns, which is now not much followed. It's an outdated rule. Nowadays, according to grammarians, they say that will is most commonly used. So subject comes first, followed by will and shall. Then we use have. We don't use has with will or shall. Like she will has gone or she will has left. That's a wrong usage, wrong grammar. We use have, then past participle of the verb, then object. Now what is past participle? The form of the verb that ends in ed. Okay, played, played, played. Past participle is the third form of the verb. The form of the verb that ends in ed for a regular verb. For an irregular verb it is different, like eat, ate, eaten, take, took, taken, where all the three forms of the verbs are different. Regular and irregular verbs have also been discussed in my previous videos of the functions of tenses. The link is given in the description. Now, she is the subject, will have attended, that's the verb, and the conference, that's the object. SVO, this is the subject, this is the verb, subject, verb and object. Okay, so this is how we construct or frame a sentence in future perfect tense. So before we proceed into the uses and functions of future perfect, you need to know something that's important, and that is the difference between perfect tenses and future perfect tense. Now, you might be aware of all the other future tenses, right? Present perfect tense, past perfect tense. Like, for example, look here. He has finished the work. She has finished the work. This statement is in present perfect tense. In past perfect tense, it becomes he had finished the work. So perfect tenses usually mean it's completed, it's done, it's over, it's finished. But when we come to the future perfect tense, the action is not completed. That is one reason why we do not use has. Okay, has would make it sound like the action is already completed, and if it's a future perfect tense, the action is not completed, it's yet to happen in the future. The time lies ahead. The time is about to happen. So future perfect tense is used to say that a future event will be completed before another event starts. Okay, In the other perfect tenses of present and past, the action or the event is already done. It's completed. But why do we use future perfect tense? It implies that a future event will be completed before another event starts. The time would be specified in some cases in future perfect tenses. You would get a better clarity when we look at the example. Here comes rule number 1, and that is future perfect tense is used to talk about something that will be completed before a specific time in the future. It means if there is a time specified in the statement, then that action or event would have been completed even before that time. Let's have a look at the example. Example 1. I will have finished my work by 4 p.m. So this verb is in future perfect tense. Will have finished. I will have finished my work by 4 p.m. itself. Imagine that there is a new movie release and you request your friend to accompany you for the movie. But you are still in the office. But you assure your friend that you will be leaving before 4 p.m. itself. I will have finished my work by 4 p.m. You will finish your work even before 4 p.m. You will be in a position to leave at 4 p.m. sharp or few seconds after 4 p.m. So you are asking your friend to take you to the theater at sharp 4 or a few seconds after 4 p.m. I will have finished my work by 4 p.m. So if you have to leave somewhere at sharp 4 p.m., you cannot start your work at sharp 4 p.m. It should have been over right before 4 p.m. itself. Only then you'll be in a position to leave at 4 p.m. or few seconds after 4 p.m. Second example is similar to the first one. I will have left my office by 4 p.m. by 5 p.m. So will have left is in future perfect. This is the PPV form, past participle form. This is also the past participle form. Third example is an interrogative sentence in negative. Won't. Won't is the contraction of will not. Won't they have arrived at 5 p.m.? So this is future perfect tense. Won't they have arrived at 5 p.m.? Imagine that you are stuck at the marketplace and you forgot to remember about the guest who were supposed to arrive at 5 p.m. You and your mom are still at the marketplace, and immediately you recollect and you say to your mom, hey mom, won't they have arrived at 5 p.m.? By 5 p.m. it means they would have been already there standing by your gate. Okay, so they will have arrived at 5 p.m. by 5 p.m. or before 5 p.m. itself. So this is rule number 2. I have mentioned here some of the phrases and words to be used with future perfect tense. Use future perfect tense with words and phrases like by then, by the time, in a day's time, in a month's time, within an year, before, when, after, till, until, by 2024 or by the end of 2024 or by 2025, 3 days from now. Okay, we usually write numbers in words, don't write in numbers. At midnight, by Sunday, by Friday. Okay, we usually use future perfect tense with these words and phrases. It would be better if you try to memorize this and fix this in your mind. So let's look at the examples using these words and phrases. Examples belonging to rule 2. I mean the application of all those words and phrases you can see here. Example 1. One such phrase I mentioned, by the time we reach, they will have already slept. Okay, so which is a verb here, future perfect, will have slept. It doesn't mean that they would have started sleeping right when we arrive. No, they would have started sleeping even before our arrival. They would have started sleeping when we would have been commuting. When we were commuting or when we were traveling, they would have already slept. So when we reach that house, they would be still in dark sleep. By the time we reach, they would have already slept. Next, second example is, this is again a phrase, within 1 year, I will have published my book. So identify the verb here, will have published, future perfect. So here duration, the extension of time is important. It means, I mean to say that it would take many months for me throughout the year, from the beginning to the end of the year, to write the book, to launch the book, and to get it in front of the world, to launch and get it circulated among the public. It would take 1 year. But I assure you, it's my guarantee, it's my assurance that within 1 year, I will have published my book. Okay. Now let's look at a third example. This is again a word given in the rule number 2. When I reach US, I will have finished seeing, I will have finished visiting 50 different countries. Again, this is in future perfect tense. Okay, I have been visiting so many countries. When I finally reach US, that would be my 50th country. I will have finished 50 different countries. Now, next is fourth one is the word mentioned in rule number 2, that is before. Before you go, he will have consulted the doctor. Again, it's in future perfect tense. So one thing that I mentioned very earlier, an important announcement that was made by me, unique feature of future perfect tense, and that is a future event will be completed before another event starts. Before you go, he will have consulted the doctor. Rule number 3, which we had seen before, future perfect tense is used to show an action which will happen before another action in the future. An action will have already happened before another action, and both these actions take place in the future. Example is, before you even take the appointment, he will have already consulted the doctor. So this is the first action that is taking place, and this is the second action. Before you leave the house, before you take the appointment, your brother would have already consulted the doctor. He will have already met the doctor. So one action will have already happened before another action takes place in the future. So in such cases, we use future perfect tense. Let's move on to the next rule. Rule number 4, future perfect tense is used to show a strong opinion or belief about something that will happen or will not happen. It's a 50-50 chance. It will happen or it will not happen. Strong opinion or belief implies conviction. I don't think the train will have left. Okay, this is in future perfect tense. So you can use in such situations when it's a conviction, you can use words like I think, I guess, I surmise, assume, I suspect. These are the words suitable for conviction. I don't think the train will have left. So you are asking your sister to hurry up, you have to leave your home in 5 minutes. Even now, I don't think the train will have left, okay? Moving on to the second example. I don't think she will have cleaned the floor and she will have cooked the food. Both mean the same. She will have cooked and she will have cleaned the floor is in future perfect tense. So whenever there is a conviction, belief or an opinion that will happen or will not happen in the future, then you can use future perfect tense. So moving on to the fifth rule, if there is no deadline, do not use future perfect tense. Do not use future perfect tense if there is no guarantee, there is no target line, there is no deadline, there is no assurance. Example, I will have become a VIP someday. This is in future perfect. I will have become a VIP by 2025. So which sentence is the incorrect from first and second? This is incorrect and this is the correct one. What makes this the correct one is there is a deadline, there is a target, there is a guarantee in this example. I will have achieved something by 2025. I will have surely become a VIP by 2025. So the efforts, the dedication, the commitment, the work, struggle, the hardships would have started not right in 2025. It would have started even before that. Okay. Then moving on to the first example, it seems to be an assumption. It just seems to be a fantasy. I will have become a VIP someday. That doesn't sound strong enough. There is no punch in that. While in the second example, we can see the person, the so-called speaker, seems to be very dedicated and he is assuring someone that he will indeed become someone great. So when there is a deadline, when there is a target, you can use future perfect tense. That's it all for today. So I guess I have covered all the important rules along with its examples for future perfect tense, as I have done for the other tenses as well. So for more grammar videos, advanced English phrases, homophones, homonyms, synonyms and error rectification, like, share, subscribe.